This is Chase the Heat. I'm doing a live stream on the sly in the Cleveland airport. So I got an hour delay. You know, it's never really bad stuff, but it wouldn't be a normal flight if something didn't get adjusted or altered some way. Anyhow, I thought, there's my girl. There you are. Matthew the King, good to see you. Dizzy Dragon. So this week I get back tonight late. I'm delayed an hour, but I'm submitting all my paperwork to the Australian consulate. They've changed the way they do things since the last time I submitted it, so it's a little bit different. But I believe this time we have, I have some heavyweights in my corner this time. So I think we're gonna get a thumbs up. RW, good to see you. And then I'll be making these with Bree in Australia. Oh, can't wait. I know she's excited. I miss you, Bree. Drew V, good to see you. Cody T. The sub that sunk, it was a drag, you know. A lot of things I thought about. Supposedly the Navy knew as soon as it happened. Didn't tell anybody. Agonizing. One of the youngest guy on the sub didn't really want to go. He was terrified of it. Did it to appease his dad. And then everybody made memes about them, which was the most disturbing part. Bothered me. They'll be making memes of me when I die, I promise you. Charlie Mary, good to see you. I sure am. Good to see you. K-App. West Lightburn. Metal Music Maniac, being stuck at the airport. John Candy moment, right? Seriously. The ones that are filled with helium and they're lighter. It was a great movie. Unstable genius. I'm a soldier, he says. Skidmark. I think the whole thing is really unfortunate and sad. And I think that the people that made memes about them should be ashamed of themselves. I thought about unfriending some of these people. Then there were so many. I was like, I'd rather try to be a good influence and have maybe then become nicer people than to block them or unfriend them. That's not a way to do things. So, Galactic Yachts. Good to see you. So no, I'm sitting around a bunch of people nobody knows I'm live streaming. Whoop, I might have been busted. I think a little kid busted me. Balake, good to see you, man. They're musings, good to see you. Of course, they knew going in it could happen, Charles. That's a given, right? But that people are sitting around gleefully making jokes about it is reprehensible. You know, if you're somebody who made some of those memes, quit following me, please. It's tragic. It was a bummer. Yeah, I wouldn't go in a sub for anything. I had this talk. My sister's older sister, Scoville, her husband was a rocket scientist for a while. And we were talking, not last night, but the night before last. I would never, look, I saw the movie. It was 3.5 hours long. I don't need to go down there to see it. I've seen it already. But I would go to space tonight. If they said, your flight's taking off at 8, but if you want to switch and jump into a space shuttle and go to space, I would do it right now without thinking about it. That, knowing the risks, I'd still do that. Wouldn't do the underwater thing, but I would do the space thing in a New York minute. Nemesis, good to see you. I think we should all stay alive. Good to see you, Lego. Bugs Bunny. Man, what a great name. Big fan of Bugs Bunny. Wow, lives on a nuke 6 months a year. Yeah, you know, I don't, you know, Schadenfreude is the German word for it. It means somebody who takes pleasure in the misfortune of somebody else, which is about as low, it's as despicable as it gets, if you ask me. Jerry Slay, thanks for being here. Digital Watcher, good to see you. Bugs Bunny's great, man. I love watching Bugs Bunny. All right, so listen, I can't believe it's going to be delayed an hour. It means I'm getting home an hour later. I'm not going to work tomorrow. I got stuff to do. I'm going to handle the stuff at home. It was a great trip, though. I told a funny story on the last live stream. We were taking off. There's a guy sitting behind me with his son. His son's right there. But as the plane took off, you could hear him say, "So this is what it feels like." He had never been on a plane before, and his reaction was just sweet. "So this is what it feels like." He was all excited, man. It was cute. Chris, good to see you, man. Silvershire, good to see you. Now, there's nothing. Can I tell you how expensive everything in the gift shop is? It is absurd. I mean, like really crazy. The fees are just bizarre. Balake, go do what you gotta do, man. I appreciate it. Diz, good to see you, man. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go either. I still have some battery in my phone. Listen, I had a layover. One of the worst was I was in Houston. I don't remember what it was for. But it wasn't. I wasn't in Houston. It was just catching a different flight, and that's where it was trading planes. And I got laid over for 24 hours. Oh. Wheelchair Preacher, good to see you. Chris K, good to see you. So I got stuck for 24 hours. It was one of the more memorable moments. It was actually a profound moment in my career as a YouTuber. I've told the story probably half a dozen times. I'll tell you the story, then I'll end the stream. Hopefully nothing weird will happen on this trip. But they said it was wintertime and it was freezing cold in the airport. And I think I was going to Reno or something. So I wasn't expecting to be in a cold airport. So I had shorts and a t-shirt on, no sweatshirt. It's freezing cold. So they tell us it's going to be a 24-hour delay. So then they get on the loudspeaker and they say that they're going to give hotels to people. So I'm like, good. Make me less angry. So they didn't do that, right? And then they said that they were going to bring pizza. They're going to bring food in for everybody. And there must have been 200 or 300 people, at least. And they brought like 10 pizzas. And it looked like something from it was funny. The pizzas were gone in like 2 seconds. Then they said they were going to bring, because it was freezing cold in the airport, they were going to bring blankets and have blankets for everybody. And there were like maybe 100 for 200 or 300 people. So it was just a terrible thing. So I got really, really mad. And I got in line and I waited. From what I remember, and maybe I was just mad, I don't remember it well, but it was like 40 minutes I waited. And I waited in line a long time. And this woman behind the counter says, I was up next, she says, "Can I help you?" I said, "You sure can." And I was about to unload. I had the hammer back, it was cocked and loaded, and I was just gonna unload. I was so upset. And right before I said something, I felt somebody tap me on my side. Not like on my shoulder, but on the side of me. So I look over and I look down, there's a little kid, almost the size of that kid, just a little older than that kid. And he says to me, "You're Johnny Scoville." And if he'd waited, if he'd waited like 10 seconds, probably not even, maybe 5, because I was gonna jump into it. Just the tone would have freaked him out. If he'd waited just a couple seconds, his image of me would have been tarnished and destroyed. And you could never get that back, you know? And then his mom goes, she was all concerned, "You know this man?" He goes, "Yeah, Mom, it's Johnny Scoville, eats peppers." So I went and sat down with them for like 12 hours. Gave her a tube of Terra Firm when I left and signed it for him. But it was a big moment for me. It was like my whole, everything, the way I looked at the channel changed that day. I feel like every time I walk out somewhere, someone's looking at me. And I don't want to do the wrong thing. You can do it right a million times in a row and nobody's going to remember it. Mean it. But man, do it wrong once. See how good that goes for you. Rich Newton, shut up. Good to see you, dude. Love Rich Newton. Tell Mindy I said hi. So, anyhow, we need a hot minute is what we need. Maybe we should do a hot minute. I really don't have anything hot. There's nothing hot in the gift shop. Oh, if I had something hot, it would have been fun. Of course, it's kind of an exciting thing to do in the lobby, like waiting at an airport. People think I'm just talking to a person. They don't know I'm talking to a couple. So no one's really giving me the stink eye. I think the little boy who said, so this is what it's like. This is what it feels like. He has an older sister. I think she's on to me. I think she knows I'm live streaming.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, they're on to me. But he was so cute. You should have heard him. So this is what it feels like. It was beautiful. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, I think. What time is it? I know what time it is. I can't tell. Oh, hold on. Dumb. Yeah, I got like an hour before I can even load. An hour and a half, probably. All right. I'm going to log off. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm a grounded dude. Sasquatch, you're so funny. Here's the funny thing. I may come across as a grounded dude right now. Here's the funny thing. If you went back 20 years, said to all the people that knew me 20 years ago and said, give me the first 3 words, or give me the first 10 words that you can think of to describe Johnny. Grounded and stable and... Nope. I'm trying to get there, though. I love you, Bree. You're a good woman. You know that? Can I tell you guys something? How amazing that woman has been? Think about that for a minute. I fell in love with this woman. COVID jammed us up for a couple of years. I spent $4,600 on tickets, not knowing that there was going to be an issue with my passport, my visa. Not my passport, my visa. So I'm trying to get the things. It's because of a DWI I got years ago, before I quit drinking, obviously. But it's brutal. I'm having to jump through a million hoops, but I have some really great, I have heavyweights, like Hollywood heavyweights in my corner. It's not even a joke. It's not even an exaggeration. Not even a little bit of an exaggeration. So I got some letters from some influential people saying it's kind of important that he gets there. So, but throughout all that, there's been not one day. We've not missed a day. We've not missed like at any point during the day. If you say, "What is she doing?" I pretty much tell you exactly what she's doing. Likewise, if you ask her what I'm doing, she can tell you. Talk to her dad every day for a couple years. And her dad died. And her daughters love me, you know? We have this really amazing bond. She's never wavered. I used to have this theory. I'll probably get people mad at me. I'll get emails for saying this, but I used to have this theory. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you this theory. I used to have a theory. I don't have that theory anymore. We're going to leave it at that because, you know, see, that's a mature YouTuber right there. Season 1, I'd have told you my theory. Season 2, I probably would have told you my theory. Season 3, I might have told you that theory. Season 4, unlikely. Season 5, season 6, nah. Season 7, I'm wise. You know, when you're new as a live streamer, you read comments this way before you read them up here, and then you end up reading questions that you don't really want to answer or want to address, but you don't think it through. You just say it, you don't think about it. I don't do that anymore. All right, guys. Sorry for that. Anyway, Bree, I love you. Thanks for being a rock. And me, I love you. Harper's not there, but I love you, Harper. I don't think I'll go live again, but tomorrow we're back on the normal schedule. Thank you for your support, you guys. I'm Johnny Scoble, and this was Chase the Heat.
Yeah, we've got like an